What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Nerdy Volume Podcast. Today, we're going to bring you a Netflix original movie, 100 Meters, an animated series about two boys who, well, they run the 100-meter dash. And we'll see who's the fastest of them all. So sit back, relax, make sure to stretch a little. You don't want to get any cramps on your run, and turn it to 11. Right, so here we are talking about 100 meters. Did you watch it in Japanese or in American? What?
I watched it in English. I watched it in English.
Me too. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah. I was just like, it's a running movie, and I know it's going to be heavy dialogue. I still have the subs up though, because because you can't. So like, that's the one thing about. That's actually the real reason I don't watch a lot of dub. Is because I can't hear them, because whoever the sound engineer is for the dub does not do it justice. Like, bro, you'd be at like what 100. You could have it like at maybe, let's say, 70% volume out of 100, right? And then you have like this car chase going on, or maybe like something, an accident, and it's super loud blaring in your ears. Then you turn it down to maybe like a 50, maybe 45, and then they start talking. Then it's a No, in music, there's a compression, and it keeps you from going up. However, all the low tones will be brought up to where you need it to be. See, compression is a beautiful thing. Yeah. In films, they don't use that, which I think might be a reason, because like there might only be one release of a film. So if it's released, it's probably released for like theaters. So the theater actually gives you the full brunt of it, while if the theater release volume wise or audio wise is given to you on a streaming site like Netflix, I don't think they created it that way. I don't think they have a release that way. This is my opinion. I don't know if this is true or not, but that's one of my only gripes.
I actually think I have the answer for you. Because I made this complaint. I have a cousin of mine. She has a friend who's a producer. Yes, I think she's a producer.
Okay.
And I was actually talking to her. She's produced. I can't remember some of the movies and shows she's produced, but I was talking to her, and we were just having a conversation, and I was telling her, man, something that I hate. Apple TV does this, I think, the worst. Like you rent a movie on Apple TV or a TV show, and I swear the audio in it is like the whenever they're having dialogue, the audio is horribly like low volume, and then so you raise the volume so you can hear them, and then an action scene happens, and it's like blaring through the screen, and you're just like, what in the world? Like, who is their sound engineer that you can't raise the volume of the dialogue? What's going on here? Right? So she was telling me that it might not be the sound engineer. It's actually so whenever you're streaming something, those files are being compressed, and in the process of being streamed to you, sometimes some of that quality is lost because of the compression, right?
That makes sense.
So that's why audio sometimes gets affected in that way, and or the dialogue gets affected because it is quieter than like action scenes, explosions, and car driving and stuff like that. It is usually quieter, and so that is being decayed in the process of being streamed to you. And I'm like, we live in 2020. It was at 2025 at the time. We live in 2025, so they got to figure this out. We're not paying you millions of dollars, so you can just pocket it. Figure this out.
That's a good point. No, so you're right about that. That makes sense with the streaming sites being that way. However, this has been I'm 37 years old. All right, I've been having this issue since I was 15. This is way before any kind of streaming sites. So like, what I'm saying? Like, I've been watching, Ghost in the Shell was one of those very animes. And I had the DVD. Yeah, it was DVD. I had the DVD at the house. And we're watching this bad boy. And they're like talking like just solo, just right here. Just can't really hear. And then all of a sudden, you hear like a freaking automatic going off. And it's like, just freaking like going off like a freaking music video, and you're in the studio while they're creating the music video. He's like, that's how the difference was. This is like early 2000, late 90s. Okay,
Yeah.
that this was going on. I was just like, this isn't anything new. It's still the same. Maybe it's they're trying to get the youth used to
Hmm.
this, so when they do figure out how to fix it, no one
Maybe,
will notice.
or maybe you just have like a repulsion to hearing dialogue.
You know what? Well, whatever the case is, like it's so soft. You know what I mean? And so watching it in sub just makes more sense because you'll be able to get it no matter if you can hear them or not.
Right, you're just reading. You're just reading the whole time. Who
at the
cares?
point. Yeah, yeah. And I'm just like,
No, I watched it in dialogue too. What the heck? I watched it in dub as well. I think I was eating food when I watched it, and I'm like, I ain't here to read subtitles right now. I'm just trying to
Right.
enjoy my food and watch this movie. And I watched
Exactly.
this before you asked us to watch. I think I watched this like maybe sometime in early January, I want to say.
hmm
So yeah, and I'm like, I'm just gonna watch it in dub. And sometimes I'll like listen to the sub and listen to the dub, and then like kind of debate who has the better voice. Usually the sub one has always the better voice, but the dub one wasn't that bad, and I was like, I could deal with it. I'm sure if my wife was watching it with me, she would be throwing a fit. She's like, we cannot watch this dubbed because she gets really bothered by voices. Sometimes the voice just doesn't match the character, and you're just like, who
yeah.
chose him? Like
Probably,
why
yeah.
is yeah.
It's because of probably the mannerisms of the characters,
Well,
especially in this film.
and sometimes it's just like the tone of voice. Like sometimes it's like a really deep voice for a character that seems they would have a higher voice. And if you listen to the Japanese version, they do have a higher voice, and you're like, why did you like this is the original? Why did you find somebody with a higher tone voice for that character? You know?
Right. Absolutely.
But yeah. So I'm like, oh, I wonder what this is about. And I'm personally, I'm a fan of sport animes. I think they're all really pretty good. Like I haven't watched.
I didn't know that.
Of all the sport animes that I've watched, I've enjoyed all of them. I don't watch all of them, but of all the ones I have watched, which is probably like, let's say I've watched around 10 sport animes. I've enjoyed all of them. I think they're really great. Let's see, which ones have I watched? I've watched Pedal. I can't remember the rest of the word.
Yawamushi. Yawamushi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish they came up with another season, man. Oh,
I know, bro, because the manga's long.
I believe
Yeah.
it. That one's so good. I think that was the first sport anime I ever watched.
Really?
And yeah, and I was just
awesome.
like, this is so good. and then Haikyuu, who doesn't love it, man? That's such a great. And then Ace of Diamonds.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh,
that's a very good
so
one.
good, right? And then there's this one. And then well, what's it? Code, is it Code Blue? The soccer one. Blue
Lock.
Blue Lock, yes.
Yeah.
Blue Lock. I thought that was pretty good. People hated on the second season because of like how it was drawn and whatever, but I'm like, I'm all right with it. It was all right. It didn't bother me much. That's 5. So maybe I've only watched 5. No, I've watched some other ones. Oh, what's the boxing one?
There's a bunch. Hajime no Ippo.
Huh? No. It's an older one. It's an older one. It's from like the 90s. He's like a kid who starts boxing.
Hajime no Ippo. It's
that one.
Yeah.
I thought you said 100 people or something like that.
Yeah, no. Hajime no Ippo is
That one's so good.
What is the English term for it? I forget the English name of Fighting Spirit. That's what it's called.
I only know it as the other one you said it.
Hajime no Ippo.
Yeah, I remember the Ippo part of it.
Ippo. Yeah.
Dude,
that's a good one. That's a fantastic
and then there's the rugby one. There's the other soccer one. What is it? 29 days. 100. What is that soccer one? 21 days. Something.
I know
days.
which one.
It's like a boy who's horrible at playing soccer.
Days. It's just called Days.
Oh, is it Days? He's really bad at soccer, but he's got that spirit that just fires everybody up.
Yeah. Bro.
Another good one.
That's a good one. I finished that.
I wish they continued that one.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I don't know why they haven't finished it in the anime.
Yeah, so
it's not all that long.
No, I don't know why. It looked like they only needed one more season to finish the entire series. But so the sport animes I've always been a fan of it. Oh, there's what's that tennis one? Is it Prince of Tennis?
Prince of Tennis is one.
That one was really good.
That's fantastic. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think they're coming out with another season actually, if I remember well.
They are. It's a newer version. It's like what they did with Fruit Baskets.
Oh, kind of like a remake, but like a Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing, but
100%.
Well, Brotherhood is more accurate, I guess, to the manga.
It gotta be remakes instead of isekai. You know what I mean? Like, because isekai is everywhere.
That's true.
I mean, I love it, but people don't like it.
Isekai is when they enter another world, right? That's the type of I like those, but they've been overplayed.
Never, no, but yeah, no. Sports anime has also been a special thing in my heart for anime. Like some of my favorites are baseball ones, like one outs, like all over TikTok. If anybody ever wants recommendations about like mental warfare and sports and a little bit of sinister or cynicism or whatever, I'm like one outs. And they're like, I've never heard of that. I was like, trust me, one outs.
I have to watch that one. I don't think I've watched that one.
Such a good one. Yeah, it's hard. It used to be on Netflix. I don't know where it is now. You might have to just Google it. But one outs is a great baseball one. You know, Major. That's another baseball one that I absolutely love. You literally see this kid named Goro Honda grow up from like age 4 or 3 or 4 to adulthood. And then they go Major 2 is when he is a father, right? But what's funny about Major 1, season 1, is there's like freaking 8 seasons in there. I was like, and these seasons aren't short. They're like 20 some episodes each.
Oh, nice.
Like Major is huge. And let you guys know, I'm pretty sure I brought it up in a couple of episodes before, but Shohei Ohtani is a big fan of Major. I was like, you can't be a baseball player out of Japan and not know that anime. So Major is definitely one of those things. That is actually, so Major was kind of like, I guess, an inspiration of me wanting to watch 100 meters, because I saw little bits and pieces of like the trailer and stuff like that. Then you see like youth and then adult. I was like, oh, I'm watching this. I'm watching this. I was like, I get to see him grow as an athlete. That's one of the best things about sports animes is growth. Yeah, no.
Yeah, and you definitely get this in the show. So like, so this is all about, two kids who start out in like, what is it, middle school, I think it is.
Yeah.
And like, I would say that Togashi is probably the main character, right? And then how do you say his name? Komiya.
Yep, Komiya.
Yeah, Komiya is like the secondary character, right? But Togashi is like the fastest kid, and on the playground, like nobody could beat him, and his future is like bright or whatever. But then you have Komiya, who's doesn't even know how to really run.
Yeah. No form at all.
He's like flopping around or whatever, and then, but they become best friends, right? When they're in middle school, and Togashi just shows them how to, hey, this is actually how you run. What you're doing is, you look like a fish flopping on the ground, kind of, so, but then Komiya leaves for whatever reason. I think his parents decided it's time to move or whatever. I can't remember what the reason was, but they moved away or whatever. And so he doesn't see him again, until they're adults, right? And Togashi is like, he's renowned. He's becoming this great runner, and everybody knows who he is, right? He's going to be one of the best in the world or whatever, blah 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 blah, right? And then out of nowhere, and everybody comes from somewhere, right? Like, oh, this is from this school and that's from that school and whatever. But you have Komiya, who comes out of nowhere, and they're like, who's this kid? Like, we don't know anything about him. He just started running. And yeah, I mean, the whole show is about them becoming rivals as adults, and at the same time, like, fighting with the idea of identity, right? Like, they're engulfed by the idea that they have to be the best runner. My identity is being the best, right? If anybody beats me, then I'm not the first anymore, and if I'm not the first, nobody's going to remember me. And you see that like throughout the show, right? Like all these like famous runners who eventually, obviously, age eventually gets to you, right? And I think what's his name, Kaido is like the perfect example of that, right? He's like, in the anime, he looks like he's like 50 years old, but I'm sure he's only probably like in his 30s,
if that. Yeah, maybe late 20s. Yeah,
but he's got like gray beard, gray hair. He like looks old as heck, and he's like, I'm still gonna be the best. Right? And you're like, brother, you're racing 20-year-olds, man. You're not gonna win.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Yeah.
And so, but it's that kind of example. But like, he's reached a different point, or Kaido, I mean, like, reached this different point where he's not running for the sake of being the best so that everybody else recognizes him, right? But he's running because it's who he is in like deep down in his core. He's a runner and he wants to be the best for himself, right? He doesn't care what other people say because obviously he looks old as heck, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so people are like talking about like, hey, it's time for him to retire. Like, why is he still in these races? Right? He's getting
Right.
owned by what's his name? Zetsu?
Saizu or is it Zetsu?
Zetsu? Zaitsu. Zetsu, right?
Yeah, that's Zetsu. Yeah.
Yeah, Zetsu is like destroying him. And then there was the other person. Was it I was kind of confused at some points because there was the guy that had the beard.
Yeah.
But that wasn't Komiya, right?
No. Are you talking about the stubble?
Yeah, the guy who had the stubble.
Yeah, that was Komiya. Adult Komiya. Yeah.
It was so confusing to me because they were jumping around at points, and I'm like, wait, is this a whole different person who looks like Komiya, or is this Komiya like further in the future?
Yeah,
it was
I
very
mixed him up too. Yeah,
because in the end it was Zetsu and Komiya and Kaido, right, running like their last race, or Kaido's last race, pretty much. But like that was one of the parts that if I have one complaint about this show is like this movie was. At some points, the jump through time got a little confusing. I'm like, wait, are we looking at the right time? What's going on? But yeah. So back to Kaido. Kaido, he's just running for himself. He doesn't care about what people's opinions is. He wants to prove to himself that he can be number one at least once.
Right.
Because Zetsu is like a monster. Right. He's just destroying. It's Zetsu, right? Zetsu was the one who was
Zaitsu.
Or Zaitsu was the one that was constantly winning, right?
Yeah, he was the one that was beating Kaido.
Yeah, it was like it was Kaido and Zaitsu that were constantly going at it, but Zaitsu was just because he was younger, he was faster. And then you had Nigami, right?
Yeah,
who was going to be the best of the best when Togashi and Komiya were both like little kids, and they had an interview Togashi and Nagami.
Yeah,
and but something I think he hurt his back. Right? Was that what it was? He hurt his back. And he fell out of the whole
ranking,
the whole scene.
Yeah,
pretty much. And so and once again, his identity of being the best or becoming the best lost because of that. And so Togashi, they became best friends almost. They became partners in running. I thought it was really good, and like you said, it's like you could see the whole transition from their childhood until their adulthood, and all of the struggle in between, right? Even Togashi, how many times he like started losing his mind because he's just like, is this really what I want to do? Am I going to become something? Like, no, I am going to become something. And then he's like, I suck. I'm never going to become anything. And then realizing from Kaido, like that doesn't matter. Run because you want to run. Be the best because you want to be the best, not because that's what other people expect of you. And I'm like, dang, that's so true. Free yourself, buddy.
Snaps, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes. I think that in 100 meters, aside from the characters and their dreams and aspirations, right? One thing I gotta freaking give a hand to is the artwork. The artwork was so incredible. It was I can't even put into words how incredible they were. Like there was a time, it was when Nagami first lost in high school. They did a high school run, or not high school. It was like right after, or after 10 years. Or was it after 10 years? No, it had to have been during high school because they did it was the meet right after the 4-man relay that they did.
Yeah.
His first loss, when he lost, if you look at the way that they drew his shoulders dropped like how a runner would drop. He swayed left to right, how a runner who is trying to catch his breath, who just lost, looks like the mannerisms of his body was just moving like it was a real person. And I was like, the artwork is incredible right here. And then another part was during, like, I think it was dusk, and they had like this the top part of the screen right at the top was like daylight, that the sun was coming up, so it's all perched up. However, it hasn't really touched the land yet, so the land is darker, but you can see like the little sidewalk, and you can see the grass going down, but it's all dark in darker hues of the color. So like instead of just a gray, it's like a freaking nearly black, like a charcoal color. It's really cool, and I was just like, wow, this animation is insane. I love it. I love it. It was so good.
I enjoyed it too. At first I didn't think I was going to, But as I watched it, I'm like, oh, you know what? This is actually really good.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Rock and Roll Mountain is the studio, and of
Rock
course,
and roll.
I don't know who the artist or illustrator is for the film, but yeah, no, man. Shout out to Rock and Roll Mountain Studios, man, because fantastic, bro. I have no idea. I had no idea that the artwork was going to be anything like that. I do like okay, so you remember the finale race, right, between
Yeah.
Komiya and Togashi. They had a bunch of people watching in or tuning in, right? And I saw people from both of their lives show up. So you had the first scene is with the girl and their child. I'm pretty sure that's the classmate from the high school that did the relay. Suzume, I think that was her
Oh
child.
yeah,
Her,
yeah,
her
yeah,
child.
yeah. Uh-huh.
And then right after her was going to be Aoi. That was the girl in the black hair that
Mm-hmm.
was recruiting him at first. I saw them two show up, and then you had someone from Komiya's past, which was his captain from his school, from his
Yeah.
high school, where he
Mm-hmm.
was all like, "Hey man, Tsuneta, I think his name is." He's all like, "Hey man, like stop trying to dream big. You don't have to do that." He was like, I don't know, he was like really screaming at the top of his lungs, like, "Yo, Komiya, stop."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Don't be better than me, dude. Stay below me, kind of deal. But that's I saw him there, and then there was another guy in the stands. I want to say that was Nigami.
It could have
Because
been.
I thought Nigami was Komiya when Togashi was walking into the or looking for the fourth member of their
Mm.
track club,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but it wasn't. I was like Nigami. I was like, oh, the buzz cut kid. I was like, he has super long hair. I was just like, wow. Like, I guess 3 years can do that. Freaking, how lucky. 2 years. My hair is like maybe like up here, like 2 years maybe. 3 years, then it drops. But like that's a long time. Maybe I don't know. I gotta comb my hair longer. But I thought that was really cool that they did
Yeah,
that.
I agree. I thought that was nice.
Brought back.
My only my own like I thought the show was great, or the movie, sorry, was great. It had such, like, it was just really well done. I thought the messages were in there were pretty interesting. Yeah, and I think that's I think something that we should all take, right? Like the things we do in life aren't our identity, right? Because
Right.
things change as we go on, and these kids, like, they get engulfed by the idea of being the best runner. But yeah, that last scene where they're just, well, I like first of all, the scene of Kaido running against Zaitsu Komiya.
Yeah.
That scene was awesome, right? Because
Yeah.
he's running, and Kaido's like, "Here I am again," looking at their backs, right? He's
Mhm.
just like, like, am I ever going to win? Because I think that was going to be his last race. If I remember well, that he chose that was going to be his last race, and he's like, he just wanted to win, but then he's like, no, I'm going to do it, and he like pushes harder, and he wins. He beats
Yeah.
both of them, right? Although there was a part of me like, did they let him win? I hope they didn't let him win. I hope he actually pushed himself and actually beat him fair and square, right? Like, it wasn't given
Right.
to him. But so that scene was really dope because it was just like this guy who was constantly trying to be the best and getting whooped over and over, and he's aging. He's not getting any younger, obviously. Like I said, he looks like he's freaking 50 years old in the show,
Right.
right? But and so he comes out on top at the end, that all his hard work was finally realized, and his achievements. So I thought that was really awesome. And then the last race with Togashi and Komiya,
Mhm.
that one, it's a bittersweet for me, man. It's bittersweet.
Yeah. I feel you on that one, bro.
Because yeah, they get to run one more time,
Yeah.
but it leaves it right as they're both about to reach the finish line, and then it just cuts
Yeah.
off, right? But it's like, if it, I think we're looking at Togashi, right? Togashi, he finally gets what he's been searching for, that freedom, that movement of just where because that was the thing that Kaido was telling him, is like, you just need to feel it. There gets that point where you feel like you're flying. You're not running anymore. You're just flying. You're like, there's nothing holding you back,
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
they're running that last race, and he gets to that point of like, I guess what we could call it nirvana, right? It's just
right,
absolute bliss, right? But you don't know who wins the race. It just cuts off, and it just
yeah,
leaves it to the viewer to imagine who won.
yeah,
If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. I'm not here to imagine something. And if I wanted to do that, I could just do it on my own. If I'm watching a movie, if I'm watching a show, it's for you to entertain me. Tell me what happens. I don't care. Like, if Komiya wins, let Komiya win. If Togashi wins, let Togashi win. I mean, granted, I want Togashi to win in the end.
right. Because he was
Right?
catching a lot of L's out of nowhere.
Yeah, he sure was. He sure was. But
And I'm like, jeez.
that ending, like, it was cool because it you know, it just like it like wrapped up everything from their childhood until this moment, right? And even there's a flashback of them running, you know, on the where that train was
As
crossing or
kids,
whatever.
yeah.
And Tomiya was about to, or Komiya, sorry, Komiya was gonna like give up, but then he sees that, like, no, and he keeps pushing forward, and he like starts catching up, and then the bliss moment happens, and you're just like, and then it just cuts out, and I'm like, bro, no, don't do this to me.
Yeah,
I need to know who won.
Yeah. All I hear is like that like, and I'm like, and then credits his song. I'm like, oh hell no. I was like, y'all really do that to me just now? And I'm just like,
exactly what they
And
did
so,
to you.
You know what's funny? I went to look up. I was just like, was those last steps? Was that to make us believe that Togashi won? Because Togashi was the last person to do that in that race. He had a little burst of energy to move forward. And then I'm like, was that suggesting that he's the one that did it? And they're like, no, it's actually supposed to. So the ending of 100 meters apparently is to tell us, the audience, that it's about the running. It's about their love of running. I was just like, nah, player, they lost. The people lost. Characters lost. Some characters need to win. You know, I was like, we can't be having that. This is a sports anime. I'll just say, in real life, everyone knows the outcome.
Nobody at the Olympics, right at the last second of a race, they're gonna just look away. It's like, it's about the love of the sport. No, we all want to see who won the race, right? We all want to see who's taking the gold. Right?
Yeah.
I granted, this whole movie is very philosophical, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the race. Yes, it's about the love and the passion for the run. Like I said, Kaido, his response to Togashi is, who cares what other people think? You run because it's for you. You want to run because you love it. You want to win because you want to show yourself that you're the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who cares what other people are saying? And yes, that's true. Granted, love it. Love the message. I still want to see who won the freaking race, okay?
Yeah.
I can both appreciate that they run for the love of they do this for the love of the run, and also see who wins the race.
Yeah. I was like, come on, man. But
that's my only real complaint of it, was that ending. That ending, I do not like unfinished endings. If you don't know that by now, I've only ever said it about 1 billion times that I do not like unfinished endings. But
he hates them.
Even with that's why one of my favorite animes is that one that we talked about. What I can't remember what the name of it is, but something about the moons and stars or something like that, where they like, it goes throughout their entire life in the credits until they're old. And you're just like,
Suki ga Kire. That's what that one's called.
That one, I'm just like, thank you. You resolved their entire lifespan for me, and I appreciate you for that. That's all. They had kids. Their kids had kids. It's like, yes, thank you. They lived happily ever after. That's all I wanted to know.
Yeah, and we wanted to see. Yeah, exactly. Actually, most of the time, audiences are happy with just the marriage part of love stories like that. But getting to see them as freaking grandparents, that's a whole nother level of euphoria right there. You know?
That's what I'm saying.
And 100 meters did not give us that euphoria.
No, this gave you okay. I don't know how I felt about that ending, but it was good until that ending.
I was just like, man, this is a good film.
There is a part of me that feels like I wasted an hour and a half of my life watching this, but it's okay.
Yeah,
I'll look at all the positive parts.
For me, the artwork is definitely probably the best part of the film. The artwork, second to none. My gosh, it was beautiful. when it was raining and they're all like, saying hi, and then they're doing their bows during, when everybody's being introduced to the crowd. I was like, this is so good. I was just like, I was like, what's going on again? Oh yeah, that's right. Togashi's running. Okay. And it's going to be against Komiya. And I was just like, oh, this is going to be sick. And I know that Komiya is going to win. I knew this was their first race against each other after not seeing each other since middle school. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, I'm pretty sure Komiya is going to win. I'm pretty sure.
And he did.
And he did. And then that literally put Togashi in some kind of weird, oh my gosh, I'm not fast anymore. I was like, no, dog, you are definitely fast. I was just like,
faster.
He's just a little faster. I was just like, however, you were always that fast. You know what I mean? Komiya had to build up to that. I was just like, and he did. He got there. That's the thing.
No, I thought that was like that race for even though there was like I said, Togashi was the person I was rooting for the whole time. Like, come on, Togashi, you can. Yeah. And honestly, I'm glad that Nigami became the partner.
Oh yeah,
in the relay, right? But there was that part of me that was like, when they were looking for their fourth, I'm like, ooh, is it gonna be Komiya? That would be awesome. Like,
yeah,
they were raced when they were kids together, and now they're gonna race as like, I guess they're still kids because they're in high school.
In high school, yeah.
But like more professionally, and you're like, oh, this is gonna be so cool. But nope, they're rivals, and I'm like, okay, I can feel this. I think this is gonna lead to a good spot, right? And yeah, it causes Tamagotchis. Mine always died by the time I left school. But Togashi, it caused Togashi to discover himself, right?
Yeah.
Even though he already kind of quit, right? Because what's her name was kept trying to have him join, and he was just kind of like, I just want to see you run once. Just run once for me. Come on, please.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I mean, he needed this. I mean, he quit. He quit for a while. He needed to find his love for it again. You think you're just gonna come out of a boss right off the bat? Komiya has been running. He's been hustling since this whole time that you've been like moping around that you lost your love for the run.
Right. Yeah, right? Like you can't. You don't have that. Not everybody has that luxury.
You got to build that up again.
Absolutely, bro.
But yeah, no, I mean, overall, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought the movie was pretty dang good.
I thought so too.
I just didn't like the ending. That's my only real crux for this, is the ending was unsatisfactory to me.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
Leaving me on a cliffhanger.
How dare they do that to us?
You crazy.
That's a sin. It should be a sin anyways.
Yeah.
No, because I think that that although there was another part that the film actually played on, and it was mental health. You know what I mean? You started off with Nigami breaking his back. You know what I mean? And he was literally distraught for 2 years, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like, he now has to just kind of live with the fact that he's not fast anymore. And being the son of a national runner doesn't help, right? And It was good that Togashi was the one that he sees, because Togashi was going to leave track because, the pressure got to him.
Yeah.
And that's where Nikami was like, was it the pressure? Was that the reason? And it made a little sense when it came to that, like, yeah, it gotta be these are kids, you know what I mean? Like mental health mental health like that is not easy to overcome as a child. And then you have Komiya, right, who doesn't know how to deal with that kind of stress, right? And so he asked Zaitsu during that school assembly, right? And Zaitsu was also like, oh, I forgot what he said, but he was the one that gave advice to Komiya, saying like, you're always going to have it. It's always going to be there. It's that he didn't say anxiety, but he was basically saying things along the line. It's like, it's always going to be a pressure. It's just based on how you want to do it. Like, what is your goal? You go against your goal, Yeah. And then that gave Komiya the strength to get faster and become the runner he is. I thought that was awesome. Like and then you see Togashi going through it. You know what I mean? Like you see him first losing to Komiya, the guy that he taught how to run better. He already, and before that he was already stressing from the pressure of expectations. So Togashi, so the first thing Togashi was against, or had a hard time, was against expectations. The second one was loss towards someone he didn't really view as a rival or a problem, and he found that. And then the next one was an injury. He was injured, and I'm all like, "Gosh, bro!" I was just like, "You are taking all kinds of L's." Now with Kamiya, I would say his stuff would start off with moving and being and not getting proper footwear. I want to say that's like, so I can't say poverty. I would just say laziness, because he wanted to keep running in those shoes, but we don't know anything about his family dynamics at home. So I'm just gonna assume he was just lazy. And then you see the next one where he was having anxiety. He didn't know if he should be running, if because his good friend Togashi said 100-meter race fixes most of the problems. And I was just like, that in itself was kind of like a foreshadowing of talking about mental health in that field of athletics, or sports, So I'm just like, that was kind of a cool thing to bring up in this anime. Like it felt so. I mean, it made it real that way. It made it real that way with the mental health and Togashi going through all of these L's, and as well as Komiya trying to understand who he is and identity. You know what I mean? Like, and then you see Kaido, who is someone who they'll both be in the future, and he's like, man, I'm a runner, I'm a track star. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's what it is. But if I'm not fast, it's okay, kind of deal, right? And I'm like, And for some reason, track stars in Japan got like that arrogant chops, in their voice, like Zaitsu at the school. It was so guys, don't be losers. that's basically what it is. I was like, you just run fast, huh? But I thought that those are really great components to the film that made it really just bring us to reality, despite it being an animated film.
And it was also Komiya. I don't know if you remember, but Komiya also had the problem where the last race he did with Togashi before, when they were kids, before he moved away, he hurt his leg, and so that kept restricting him from moving faster, because he always felt that he was going to hurt his leg if he pushed too hard.
Yeah, right? That's right. That's what he asked about Zaitsu. That's why. That's why.
And he's
okay.
And he's like, pretty much, you just got to get over that. You are fast. Just get over it. Like,
he made it seem like it's like that easy.
Put some
no problem.
Tiger Balm on that sucker and keep running.
Nah, man. Well, I mean, looking at the film, I mean, we obviously know what you didn't like about the film, which was the ending. I didn't like the ending either. There's not a lot of stuff that I didn't like. Because like everything is just about growth and self-awareness and mental health. Like of course, when you go into sports, you should always put that in mind, because it's all about winning for these athletes, and if they don't win, like what do they do to cope, and that's not that can't be an easy subject. But if I were to give a grade for this movie, frick man, I'm gonna have to give it like a B+. It would have been an A if it just finished the race. But for me, it had to be a B+. I would have been higher, but like majority of the high parts of this is the artwork for me. I would say the mental healthness and awareness would be like the second, because those are two that really stood out to me, that I really liked about the movie.
Yeah, no, I'm not that far behind you. I give it a B. Okay. That ending really, really was annoying to me. But the only other thing I mentioned it earlier was there was a point where there was a timeline skip where Komiya had the beard or whatever, and he was talking to Zaitsu, and I was just like, wait, what? And then it goes back, and it's Togashi meets with Komiya, and Komiya no longer has a beard. And I'm like, wait, I'm so confused. But is this another person, or is this just Komiya with a beard? It's like they look exactly the same. Right. So I was like, am I just going crazy? But bro, you're right. So that was like the only other thing that kind of like threw me off a little. So that's why I was asking. It's like, was that the same person, or am I tripping?
Dude, no. I get it, man. I was like,
that was
who that?
Yeah, it must have been like much further in the future, which means and Togashi quit running by that point. Maybe, I don't know. So it's kind of left a little weird spot there for me. But which means maybe Togashi won, right? And he got his satisfaction, and then he just like, all right, I'm done. I don't know. Yeah. But I give it a B. Overall, I was entertained. I enjoyed the time I watched it. It's just that ending was kind of
whack.
To my imagination. My imagination doesn't need to figure that out.
Yeah, I was like,
right?
yeah,
that's what I do Dungeons and Dragons for.
I was
that's
as far as
my
I know,
imagination
Kaido
goes.
won that. You know what I'm saying? As far as I know, Kaido won that. You can't tell me he didn't. We didn't see the end.
He could have come out of nowhere.
He could have. The greatest upset. You know, I was like, don't tell me who I can't say won. You know who won? Zaitsu, the guy that said he just retired.
Yeah.
He went outside and ran and beat them.
Yeah.
You don't know.
He took a bigger lap.
Yeah. Aoi, from work, she ran and she won. You know what I mean? Don't give me that. Nah, but yeah, it's a good movie. If you guys want to watch it, definitely check it out. It's on Netflix. Hopefully, it's going to be on there for a while. I didn't see the limited series or limited movie tag on it. So, you guys check it out when you guys can. And that's going to wrap up this episode. Follow us on IG, Facebook, X, and TikTok. You can catch all of our video content here on YouTube. Please leave a review as it will help this podcast grow. And join our community on Discord. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. And don't forget to turn